Hi, I'm Lola, and I've been going to HCC for 6 years. Last year, I applied for a job at a dream company that I had always wanted to work at. While I was going through the process and I got selected to be interviewed, I was kind of sensing that I wasn't supposed to take the job, but I wasn't sure. Eventually, I did get the offer. Yinka, my husband, he was feeling like I shouldn't take the job, but I wasn't sure. I was conflicted because this was a job that I really wanted to, a company I really wanted to work at, and it was actually a better paying job. I decided to consult with someone who I trusted as well, and she was suggested that I do like a fleece, basically, which is kind of like with what Gideon did in the Bible, where if you wanted to know if something was God, to get a confirmation from God on something. So I decided to do that, and what I did was I asked for like a sign-on bonus, because it was something that they usually would do. So I asked for a specific amount, and I told God that if they give me that amount, that I would take the job. If they didn't, I wouldn't take the job. And then she came back to me and told me that actually they won't be able to give me that sign-on bonus, and if I'd asked maybe 2 weeks before, that it would have been no problem at all. But things have changed in the company, and so I went ahead and I declined the offer, because I felt like that was the answer from God. But even after then, that weekend, I started to have a lot of doubt that, was I over spiritualizing things? Like, why did I turn down an offer? Like, it didn't make sense. It was better pay. It was a company I'd always wanted to work at. Why would I do that? I remember being that then. It was just kind of like a moment of desperation where I feel like the enemy had come in and said, you over spiritualize things. You shouldn't have done that. I just began to feel really down. I felt like, I missed out on this great opportunity, and I felt really, really down about it, and I felt so sad and became really depressed. During this bout of depression, I remember my husband, my sisters, my family just could not understand, because they didn't get why I was so down on myself and depressed about losing or turning down a job that God had said I should turn down. Like, I felt like I had misheard God, and maybe it was a mistake, and maybe that really wasn't a fleece. My sister encouraged me to join there was a program which was basically a praise and worship program, and it was just focusing on worshiping God. There was a minister, a pastor, who was praying, and he said, there's someone here, you've been full of depression, you've been just really depressed and down. The Holy Spirit is going to come upon you right now, and you're going to begin to laugh, and there'll be a laughter and a joy over you. And I remember, like, before he even finished his sentence, the Holy Spirit just came on me, and I was just beginning to laugh and laugh. That deep sadness and that feeling of darkness and heaviness just began to lift off of me. Despite me not having that dream job back, I remember just feeling this constant presence of God's joy with me through the days. In June 2024, I was unfortunately laid off from my company. This was unexpected. It was basically, cuts that the company had done. And I remember that day that when I was laid off, I remember telling the person who laid me off that I turned down XYZ company for you. And she was like, well, maybe you could go back there. So that same day, I remember going, just driving home. I just got fired. What do I do now? That day I got home and I went to my dream company's website, and I saw that they had a position, a more senior level position that was more aligned with my career aspirations. I was over the moon when I saw it. I went ahead and I applied for it, and within 3 weeks, I did get that offer, and I got a position at this company. Now I'm working with an amazing team. Like, I go to work every day full of joy. Like, my husband is always like, you're on a constant high right now. It made me see how much God had pretty much been ordering my steps, basically, and just how much he had brought things full circle for me. But I remember feeling so much peace about this is where God has placed me, and that really began to make me understand the lessons that he wanted to teach me throughout this process. God really cares deeply for us, and he really listens to us when we speak to him. He uses those moments to draw us into communion with him, and to have a deeper knowledge of who he is and what his heart is for us. God is faithful, he's patient, and he loves us beyond our imagination.